Representative Zarang on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm feeling a lot of love today. I know you can feel it too. But when you think about Louisiana, what do you think about? You put aside food. The thing you think about is our moniker. Our namesake is that we are sportsman's paradise. And the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries is responsible for that stewardship and have been doing a great job. I'll put our department against any other resource department in the nation. And it's a department that works very hard in addressing the issues in the stewardship of this valuable resource that we've been so abundantly blessed, is now coming and looking for an adjustment on some licenses and fee structure. Currently, the department is in a spending deficit of $20 million. Understanding that the price of oil and where a lot of the funds and the royalties off the lands that they make because of the price of oil, the department has been in deficit spending and will be for the next 4 years and will exhaust the conservation fund, and they will rely and have to rely on state general fund to sustain the department. Understand, currently they do not use any state general funds.
Per question, Representative Gwynn.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. You said earlier they get no general fund money at all?
No, sir. All fees and self-generated funds.
They do self-generated fund, and this license is a voluntary license. You don't have to buy it if you don't like it.
Yes, sir, exactly.
I think you got a good bill. It costs a lot of money for us to enjoy the natural resources of the state of Louisiana, and it has to be funded some way. And I agree with the angle that you came about to get it funded. You got good legislation. Thank you for bringing it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Zarang, we had heard this bill in Natural Resources Committee, and I brought up some concerns with the title of the bill. It talks about a restructuring of a hunting and fishing license. Is that the correct description of your bill?
Yes, sir.
Well, what else did your bill do?
It reduces the number of license from 170. It reduces the number of license, creates some efficiencies within the department.
So that this is a 53 vote measure today?
No, it's 70.
And why would it be a 70 vote measure?
Because it's associated with fees.
Okay, so my point is, did you know that this is a fee increase?
And a fee decrease. It's both.
But what is the fiscal note? How much money does it generate?
The fiscal note is $6.6 million for a department that, again, is in deficit expenditures of $20 million.
It raises $6.6 million. Wouldn't you consider that a fee increase, requiring a 70 vote threshold?
That is providing $6.6 million to a department that, again, because of the conservation fund dollars that are generated from the royalties, are experiencing a reduction within 5 years of over $30 million a year less than what they were receiving previously. So they're receiving $30 million less, but increasing it by $6 million.
We'll get into if you want to go into the numbers about each year in a second, but I want to know, is this a fee increase?
There is no doubt the fiscal note is $6.6 million, but if you're asking what the bill does, it increases on some, it consolidates license, increases some, but also reduces some as well.
I believe this is a fee increase. Don't you agree?
You can believe what you want to believe, Mr.
So you
Miguel.
don't believe it's a fee increase, and I believe that the rules state it's a 70 vote measure because it raises $6.6 million in the fiscal note. But let's not talk about that anymore, because obviously we're in some disagreement there. You mentioned, and you said it yourself, didn't you know, that we have 4 years left of funds? Mm-hmm. The point I'm trying to make, Representative, is I think that this may be an issue in the future, but I don't think the issue here is today. I think that last year was the first year of deficit spending in the conservation fund. In the 5 years prior to that, 4 of the 5 years had a surplus of $20 to $40 million when the price of oil was high. So wouldn't you agree that as the price of oil comes back, that at least eliminate the deficit spending within this department?
Again, this is a standstill budget within the, wait, please let me finish. This is a standstill budget within the department. We're not talking about increasing salaries. We're not talking about added personnel. A standstill budget for the next 4 years reflects a $20 million deficit spending, of which they will exhaust the conservation funds that you're referring to and will require general fund spending by 2022.
Which is 4 years from now.
4 years, yeah.
If you have 4 years left of funds, and you still have some more time, I think we should address this probably 2 years from now if this pace stays the same, and I think we shouldn't address it anytime soon if the price of oil returns. Why don't we get this and make this a lot easier to pass the 53 vote threshold? Why don't we keep the restructuring portion of this bill and get rid of the fee increase portion? Run this thing through, get this thing restructured and consolidated, make it a lot easier on government, on the users and the hunters and officials and using government, and then we come back later, a year or two from now, and deal with the fee increase side. Why does it have to be together? Why can't we just restructure, not fee increase?
Well, for the obvious reason that if you're going to eliminate some licenses, there are fees associated with those licenses. By simply eliminating the licenses doesn't solve the problem. So by restructuring the license structure and trying to consolidate those licenses, the value that was received for those licenses is now within these 35 licenses. So if you have to charge, or at least the equivalent of what the previous license was charged for, you have to capture it some kind of way, and that's reflected in the 35 licenses.
If I'm a hunter or fisher back in my district, I'm looking at this thing, I'm thinking I want it to be consolidated, but why do I have to pay a fee increase to get good government?
It's not necessarily.
Is this a way to pitch a restructure? Things that people like. I know a lot of the members in this body. I would think an overwhelming majority like a free restructure, but not an overwhelming majority would support a fee increase. Is this sort of a way to put lipstick on a pig and sell a fee increase as something that's good through a restructure?
The bill, again, addresses the licenses and the restructuring, and there are some licenses that are going up, but there are some that are going down.
I forgot, we still hadn't agreed that this is a fee increase. We had this committee in Natural Resources, did you know? And there was a presentation that was given by the department that talked about a few fees that would go down, but there was no mention about any fees that would go up. And it seems like you've been deflecting some on that. And I guess I'll ask you one final time. I know about the restructure. I know about all the other parts of the bill. Is this or is this not, in some way or some shape or form, a fee increase? Please be honest.
I'm being honest, and I have been since I've been up at the podium. There are fees that are going up, but there are license fees that are going down because, again, 117 down to 35, you're receiving a lot more value for 35 than 117, and that has to be captured some kind of way.
Please excuse me if I'm not calling you dishonest by any way, shape, or form. Excuse me for saying in that fashion. Just a simple yes or no. Is this or is this not a fee increase? Yes or no? Last question.
This is a fee increase on some licenses and a decrease on others.
Thank you, Representative.
Zarang moves final passage of the bills. Many in favor of final passage vote yes. Those opposed vote no. The clerk will open the machine. Vote your machines, members. Are you through voting? Are you through voting? Clerk will close the machine. Does the gentleman desire to give notice of reconsideration? He does. Before the notice, 54 yeas, 27 nays, and the bill fails to pass.